It's Tupac's birthday. Tupac, my G.
Hey,
Joey Badass.
And welcome back to the Guillotines Geek podcast. Special guest Jeff Butter Craig. Jeff, thank you for coming on.
thanks for having me, brother.
Let's jump straight into it. You've just announced you have a fight on CFFC. What's that entailing? It's up a weight class, following on to your dirty boxing success.
It's I'm not really allowed to say the opponent yet until they announce it or anything, but it's hopefully it's my last fight before the UFC, you know. I'm just trying to prove that I can go up a weight class and also be at 170. So I got into the sport to fight, you know, so I'm hoping they see that and they like that.
Yeah, you're coming off an impressive streak. Anyways, coming off 4 straight wins, all 4 by finish. Are you hoping to carry that on to the next fight?
Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck. I'm hoping to. You know, anything can happen. So, I'm very realistic how uh how bad things can go. You know, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum of losing and winning. You know, so it's a humiliating sport in a lot of ways. Very humbling. So, um, I'm very realistic with what my opponent brings to the table. I can say I am fighting a wrestler, so you know the camps for that always suck, bro. Grappling's so hard on the body, but fuck it, we'll see.
Uh, you've your last couple of fights have been a mixture between MMA and dirty boxing. Which one were you preferring, and do you see a route still in dirty boxing, or is the goal the UFC for good?
The goal is the UFC. But honestly, I love dirty boxing just because one, they took care of me very well. Two, um I love the rule set, and it's a lot easier on the body to prepare for than it is for like a wrestler or just grappling in general for MMA. So it was a lot easier on my body. I got some extra time to like heal things up and stuff, and the camp went really smoothly, and there wasn't too much you know, overthinking about, oh, I have to do this grappling, or I have to, you know, do this type of wrestling, and oh, are my kicks on point, or is this? It's just hands and elbows, you know, a little bit of clinch work. So I really love dirty boxing. If I don't get into the UFC after this one, then definitely I'm definitely down to fight for a title for dirty boxing. That's something that would be really cool from my resume, is a dirty boxing title. That'd be so sick, man. I have so much respect for boxing, and I'm not a pure boxer, but um, this is close enough, I guess. You know.
Good. Hey, fair enough. And what brought you into dirty boxing in the first place? Was it? I know you had a few opponents there that you were meant to fight in MMA that wouldn't take the contract. Some of them fellas are now in the UFC. Was it following on to that, or if you want to call out any of them too, fire away, take your
Oh
shot.
man, I'm gonna call. There's one dude I'm gonna call out after this fight for sure. I was planning it today actually in my head. I was like, how am I gonna do this post fight speech? You know, because you never really know. And then you could have the most nuanced idea of what you're going to say, and then in any given situation you're probably going to throw it all out, you know, and fucking say whatever is on your mind, because you can't really prepare for the variables that go into it, you know. So how I got into dirty boxing was, so I was training actually with Daniel Rodriguez for his fight against, I think it was Santiago Ponzinibbio, and we were in Mammoth, California, which is like it's a few hours up north. It's in the mountains though. And he wanted to do this like Rocky style of training. So it was really cool actually. And we're up there and we're training at elevation, which sucked, and we're getting our work in and hanging out and stuff. And Mason actually hits me up, my manager, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to fight on this dirty boxing card? You know, this they need an opponent for a week's notice. They're asking." And I was like, "Who's the opponent?" And they said it was Alawale Bemgoshe. I'm pretty sure is how you say his name. And he's a vet. He's been around a long time, built like a fucking Greek god, you know, just like I've worked my ass off my whole life, Callum, and I can't look like that, you know. So,
Yeah.
but he's built like a Greek god and wanted to fight at 185, and I was only like 193, 4, but I didn't. I really just hate cutting any type of weight, so I was like, I'll do it at 190 if we're gonna do it, you know. And Mason seemed to have the most belief in me out of anybody I asked about it, and then and also myself. So I was just like, what's it gonna hurt? You know, it's dirty boxing. It's not gonna affect my MMA record or anything. And and I haven't fought in a while, so it's fine. I'm in decent shape. Let's see. And I took that on a week's notice and went out to Miami and got it done. And I knew the first round was gonna be rough because he's very unorthodox and he's explosive. He's really athletic. So I knew I kind of had to like put pressure on him and slow him down a little bit, but I think only a couple of things touched in the first round. I don't even think I landed a jab on him. He was just so awkward and so twitchy. It was just like I didn't want to overcommit. Um, yeah, and then I got done in like 10 seconds into the second round, so that was sick, you know. Short notice, little fucking strike mission, went in there and executed, and I loved it. I love pure striking, bro. I love it. So yeah, that's how I got in on that.
It's mad too. Like you train with some serious talents, as you said, D-Rod there. Obviously, you have the BKF connections with Knucklemania or Knucklemaniac. I can never
Yeah,
get that right.
I good.
But I'd say you get some amazing experience and some amazing stories out of training with them boys and leveling yourself up week in, week out. I'd say that's awesome opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's super cool, man. I've met a lot of cool people in this sport. You know, D Rod's a good friend of mine, and he's a fucking really cool dude, and he takes care of his friends, takes care of his people very well. So I'm thankful for him and all the people I've met in this sport so far. You get a bunch of weirdos in this sport, but you also get a bunch of cool people too. You know, weirdos can be cool too, but sometimes there's just some cocky pricks. You know.
Yeah. And do you think you'll stay at the team you're at now, or would you like to maybe cross train maybe into some other countries too? It's big rise in Georgian MMA. In Thailand, there's Bang Tao, you have Tiger Muay Thai. Do you ever see yourself going overseas for training, or do you feel like USA is the best base for you?
I mean, I would go overseas and train. I don't know much. I think about Thailand a lot, but honestly, I can't I don't know. I can't I don't really see why. I'm really picky about who I train with and where I train. Uh I'm really picky about it. So I don't mind training overseas. Like I wanna come actually I wanna come visit visit your country and then I wanna go visit Scotland and England and stuff and all that. And there's not like too many gyms that I have in my head that I'm like, oh, I really want to train there. I would just probably pop into whatever, and all that. But with the big gyms, I'm like picky about where I train and stuff. Like I don't know. I see myself training overseas and having fun and making new friends and stuff. But Thailand's not super like on my list. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the appeal in it just because people go there for like striking and stuff, which I understand, but I don't know the traditional Thai style. I think I got my own opinions on it, but I think for the most part, me personally, if you're trying to get great striking and you're a little older, I don't think you should go and try to have like a very traditional Thai style. Depending on what you're trying to do within the sports itself, but especially for MMA, you shouldn't have a traditional Thai style. And then also, I don't think you should go and then be 21 trying to have a Thai style when these Thais have been doing it since they could walk. I think you got to kind of mix it up a bit, and that's what you see with like the Russians and stuff. They're doing very well with like mixing it up, or the Japanese are doing very well too with like the hybrid footwork and good boxing and stuff, which is missing in Muay Thai a lot of times. But yeah, I would love to come train overseas, man. Eventually, once I get a little bit more money and notoriety in the sport, hopefully places will open their doors to me and I can just come and train wherever I want. Biggest thing for me is traveling, though. I'd love to just travel, see the world. I've been in the States my whole life, so
Fair enough. What got you started into MMA in the first place?
so I actually, I have been like fascinated with martial arts like probably my whole life, and I was like a little chubby fat kid, you know. So, uh, but I always wanted to be. I was always tough in the sense of I could take a lot of like pain and abuse and stuff, but I wanted to learn how to like defend myself and stuff. So, but I never really got. I didn't really know what MMA was. I kind of just watched like all the like kung fu movies and shit. I was like, oh, that's sick. Like, um, I wanted to like move like that with like finesse and stuff, but you know, being a little fat kid and wanting to move with finesse doesn't really work out. You know, you're too big to be sneaky. So I did a little bit of taekwondo when I lived in New York City for a little bit, and then I moved to Pennsylvania later on. And in Pennsylvania, I was getting bullied, and I was from like fifth to seventh grade, and finally after my first year of wrestling season, I kind of had made like a Facebook post about where is there any like boxing coaches or anything that could train me? And one of the local people got back to me and was like, "Oh, there's a gym right up the road from you." And literally in this small town of 200 people called Utica, there was a guy, old army boxing coach, who was teaching MMA, and he loved the idea of MMA because he took no damage. So I was like, went up and talked to him with my mom, and I was 13 at the time, and he took me under his wing, and that's when I started doing MMA. Was with this old army boxing coach that loved the idea of grappling. I love striking, but he loved grappling and stuff. So that's kind of where I got started. I was in this barn actually. There the upstairs was all decked out for like there was like the mats were downstairs at first, and then after a couple of years we moved them upstairs. But uh, the mats were upstairs, all the workout equipment, the punching bag, all of that, and we would meet 3 times a week and kind of just it wasn't anything like it wasn't anything like crazy that you get from one of these fucking great gyms, you know, like we were kind of doing the basics and going through the motions and like just learning as we went, you know. So but that's how I started. That's how I started. That's what got me into the mindset of it and stuff, and I learned a lot about work ethic and stuff being there. So that was my foundation for the most part.
And how long after you started did you before your first fight?
Man, I wanted to fight when I was like 18. But where I'm from in Pennsylvania, it's just like, man, they're stuck in like 2005 MMA. I mean, there's Hicks over there still wearing tap out shirts, you know, and all that. Like they think that shit's sick. So it's very old kind of old school over there. Like everybody still uses Facebook and shit, you know. Like I swear Instagram just got popular over there like the last couple of years. So there was nothing for me over there. And by the time that I turned 18 and was kind of like of age to fight, I wasn't really at that gym anymore. I had some other things going on, and it just didn't end up working out. So I didn't fight until I was 21. Actually, I made my debut uh 2 days after my 21st birthday. And yeah, I went undefeated as an amateur, so it was a good amateur career, solid.
And from the minute you stepped in the cage, did you know this is what I wanted to do, or
I knew it was what I wanted to do once I got in the cage. And like, I'll be honest, I was kind of I felt a little like off about my win because I heard him and he didn't come out into the second round, and
mm,
I was kind of disappointed with it. I guess just because I don't know what I was feeling. I think I just expected more, you know. So, but his coaches didn't want him to come out for a second round, so he quit on the stool. Um, and I had kind of known. I kind of had known. I had known I wanted to. This is what I wanted to do when I got into a fight when I was 18. I got into a fist fight with two people, and I was like, "Wow, fucking that shit was fun." Like, got to do
yeah,
that, you know? Because up until that point, it was like, do I want to fight professionally? There's no money in it. It's going to be a shitty life, you know? Maybe I should go to college or the military. And then, yeah, anytime I tried to leave fighting or like think of other things, like I always got pulled back in somehow. It was weird. I always got like fell back in. All right, well, I guess we're gonna fight, and then I would veer off into something else. All right, let's go to school. Let's go be an engineer or something, and then would veer back into fighting. And it's just like, all right, this is it.
You've got to have one of the best nicknames I've heard in a long time. Where did that come from? Where did Butter come from?
Oh man, so it's a good question. So so it was Insidious before, but I've mostly had it Insidious for like marketing reasons, Like I was trying to think of something original and something that kind of like stuck out. Um, but I'm not like a trash talker, and I'm not like a stare you down and type of guy and try to look intimidating and stuff. Like that's not my thing. I'm always kind of like smiling and just happy to be there. And um, yeah, and I don't take this like fighting too seriously. Like I don't have to hate my opponent to to knock them out. Like it's not really personal. Like if I have an opponent that wants to make it personal, that's very easy for me to make it personal. Like, but we don't have to. Like it's a fight at the end of the day, and there's more to life than fighting. And it's like it's weird to say that because this is all I got. So it's like fighting is my life, but again, there is like more life than fighting. So it's kind of like a weird thought to think about. But anyways, uh, yeah, I was Insidious forever, and then I was just like, man, I'm doing away with the nickname until someone gives me something cool. And I was hanging out with my boy Morrow, and he kept trying to come up with nicknames, and he was like, he said he called me like Jiffy Lube or something, and I was like, it sounds a little sus. Anything with lube in it sounds a little sus. So I was just like, nah. I was like, we'll keep thinking, we'll keep thinking. And I had told him a story about years ago when I was an amateur, and one of my homies' wives was like, "Oh, you know who you remind me of? You remind me of Butters off of South Park." And I was like, what the hell? Like, all right. And like I kind of like, and she's like, you should go by Professor Chaos or whatever. And I was just like, nah, that's funny, but no, I'm all right. Uh, and Butters is probably my favorite character off of South Park, but it's just like, yeah. And I'm sitting there talking to my boy Morrow about it. He's coming up with thing, and he's like, "What about Butter?" And all he did was take the S off of Butters, and I was like, "That's fucking genius. I gotta go with that." I was like, "I think that's it, man. I think you just thought of it." And I ran with it, and it stuck. So, and he wanted me to have something that like, because he was like, "You're slick. Like you have a lot of slick stuff you do. Like you gotta have something that's cool." So he came up with that, and it's been it.
So when you get into the UFC, we're gonna see a tattoo of the South Park cast, are we?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I want more tattoos. I fucking tattoos are so sick and stuff, but one, they're so expensive, especially out here in California. And then two, like I always think about something to get and then I change my mind. Like the one I have on my chest right now, that I thought about that for like 2 years before I got it, and then I got it and I forget it's there, to be honest.
And
But
did you move out to Cali strictly for the MMA, or was there anything that brought you there beforehand? Or
so yeah, it was yeah, it was all for MMA because Uh, actually, when I was younger, I really wanted to move to California because it just seemed really cool. And fuck, oh boy, was I wrong. And my aunt actually lived out here, and I was just like, came and I lived out here for with her for a few months and throughout the summer and stuff. And I was like, all right, this is kind of where I have to be because again, where I'm from, there's not really any gyms. Like, there's a gym, there's Marquez Academy or Marquez MMA in Philly, which is great. There's a couple of gyms in Pittsburgh now, which are cool. But back when I was coming up, there wasn't really much, and like moving to Philly wasn't even an idea. Like I had never been to Philly, so it just wasn't even on my things to do. So California was kind of the option, and I figured there'd be a lot more MMA gyms out in California, and I had zero idea of what to expect or what gyms to look for in California or how to find the right gyms. Um, but I had to move out here just for my career, and once I got here, I realized, yeah, this is where I have to be for right now. Even though I refuse to stay here forever.
not surfboard in paradise, is it not? No.
No, man. You know what? People think I surfboard because I got like the long hair and like I have a little bit of flow in my talk and stuff, but I don't. I don't like the water. I don't mess with the water like that. Like I don't. That's like where the fish pee and stuff. Like I'm good on all that, bro. Like I don't know. I just never been in like a huge fan of the ocean or the beach. Like the sand gets everywhere. I remember one time I was a little kid and I lived in New York City and my aunt had taken us to the beach one time and like I was already like I'm like the beach is okay, you know, like this is kind of cool. But you gotta remember I was a fat kid and it's time for lunch and I took a bite of my sandwich that was wrapped in plastic and somehow there was sand in the sandwich and that's when I realized I don't like the beach. Like how did sand get in my sandwich? Like so ever since then, like me and the beach have kind of had beef, you know. So I'm not like a big beach goer. I'm not huge into the surfing community. I don't know much about it. I've never been like, fuck, I really want to surf, you know, and like the scenery's great. The weather, you can't beat the weather. You know, there's so much to do here. There's not, you can do anything from hiking to the beach to the snow covered mountains. You know, you could go and feel like bars, if you like clubs. Like, there's so much to do, but there's also construction everywhere you go. There's traffic everywhere you go. Everything's expensive. If you want to go anywhere in town, you know, downtown, you got to pay for parking. It's crazy. Uh, it's just, and the people here are just, especially in LA County, are kind of weird, man. They're very bizarre people, and yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania, so it's more of a wholesome type of vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Where are you from in Ireland?
Oh, lad, I'm not even from Ireland. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm from Connecticut originally.
Are you really?
I was in Connecticut till I was 12. Then I was in Liverpool. Then I was in Northern Ireland, but we called it the North of Ireland. And
Okay.
then now I'm in the South of Ireland. Now, you've probably heard a bit of screaming in the background. Sorry about that. That's my wee baby girl. But yeah, no. So,
Oh no,
uh,
I saw on your Instagram you had a baby. Congrats. No, I didn't hear nothing
yeah.
though.
Oh, grand. Aye, but yeah, no, I'm plastic patty as far as it comes. I'm just another
Haha.
American wanting to be Irish, like as bad as
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds. Like,
no, that's cool, dude. That's pretty sick, actually. Yeah, no, Liverpool is one of the places I want to go visit for sure.
yeah, there's
Uh,
some really good training over there, and surprisingly, there's actually quite high level wrestling. Like I know the UK is not known for it, but there is some very high level wrestling fellas, kind of northwest of England, and I found a lot in Northern Ireland too. There's actually some very good gyms that'd be good for anyone wanting to come over. Like,
yeah, yeah, one of these days, I'm gonna go visit. That's been my dream forever is to go visit the UK and Ireland and stuff. So
you have to go to a footy game. Like that's the first thing you have to do when you touch down.
really,
Yeah, yeah, atmosphere is unreal.
yeah, I heard they get crazy.
Oh yeah, it's not like American chants. It's people's mouths is getting called a cunt and all kinds like that. Like it's great crack.
Bunch of hooligans.
Oh yeah, proper Green Street vibes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I definitely need to go. I mean, I don't really go out much and I don't even like I don't to be honest, I don't even really like going to fights that much because I hate the crowd so much. And but I do want to go experience some footy games for sure.
Yeah. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out? Any sponsors? Your IG handle? Anything? Fire away there, lad.
It's just IG handles just Jeffy Butter, super easy. And then no, just shout out to you and Mason and all the geeks, you know. That's about it though, brother.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it.
Of course, man, anytime.
It's Tupac's birthday. Tupac, my G. Joey Badass.